Hi there, this is Sherry Hayes, and tonight it's nighttime and everybody's subdued, everybody's quiet around the house, so I thought I'd take a few minutes to answer another question or two. Someone asked me, now this dear lady has 11 children and she is currently homeschooling 7 of them. She's got a couple in, I think, 9th grade and on down to a 1st grader, she said. So she asked me specifically, how do you keep on top of it all? She has 7 children to homeschool and she has all those different levels. Her oldest 2 are boys, and so sometimes boys, they have a little, power play with mom. And then you have the personalities of all the children. Sometimes they're not feeling good. Then you have the things of life such as, repairmen coming. There were times in our lives when we would have either a washer or a dryer out, and sometimes, both at the same time. And when you have maybe 2 or 3 people, it's a major thing. When you have a whole house of maybe 9, 11, 13 people, it's like crazy, okay? And then at those times, you still have to keep going. You have to, you're always juggling. So how do you take your little pea brain and spread it across so many things and still give your kids a good education? Well, here's just some simple things I have put in place that have helped me keep track. Okay, first off, I wanted to show you, let me grab this. This is a milk crate. It's a discarded milk crate that I got at a Goodwill outlet. I think I paid 25 cents for it. Okay. And I got 3 or 4 of them. And I think there's 4. And what I did was I used these to keep track of what we are currently doing. I have loads and loads of library space in my house. I have bookshelf after bookshelf after bookshelf, full of homeschool, regular books, all kinds of books. But what I like to do is I like to isolate what we are currently using. Like I might have books in my library that cover all periods of history, all kinds of science, language arts, all that kind of thing, novels, church history, Bible commentaries. But what I want to make sure is that I put what we're currently using in a crate so that it's easy, it's isolated, and I can grab it easily. Okay, so the reason I do that is because if I have something visual that I can look at and say we do this, we do this, we do this, it's much easier than having to go over and grab something. I try to isolate and simplify in order to keep on top. So this crate in particular, currently, now I've used these in all kinds of different ways. I've stacked them on top of each other sideways so you could access the books. Right now in the transition time we're in our life, we need just something that we can carry around with us, put in different rooms if we need to. So anyway, in this crate I have the books that my two of my girls are using right now. And since I'm only homeschooling 4 children, I know people are saying, yeah, only 4, right? But since I'm only homeschooling 4 children right now, it's easier just for me to differentiate just with 2 in each crate, and I don't have to, it's not as complicated as it once was. But one thing that can really help you, and also, I'll go into them, and one thing that can really help you if you have a number of children is invest in different colors of duct tape and assign one color or one pattern to each child, and then everything that child owns school-wise, put their color of tape on it in a place that's easy to see. Such as if I was to take, like, okay, here's a folder. For this folder, a child that would have this color, I would put it on the spine either this way or vertically. I would put this along the spine. That way it would be easy to identify pretty much, and you might even put like a patch on the front. Right now the pink is one child's color, purple's another, but you run out of colors when you go to the store. There's only so many colors that they have available, and if they only have 3 different colors of something and you have 5 children, then you've got to have some other way of doing it. So this duct tape is amazing. okay? I imagine masking tape would be the same, but I think it would come off more easily. I think duct tape is a little more durable. That's one thing I've done. The crate is another idea. As for myself and the materials I use, I like to have either a basket or a bag with materials that are specific to me. In other words, if, you know, for things like my planner, my record book, any types of helps I might put in there. I might have, currently I'll show you just a second. I have this bag is what I'm using. And so I might have a read aloud that I'm doing with the children in here. I have a 3-ring binder that has my Middle Ages materials that I have to refer to. I have some office supplies in here. I have index cards and I have pens and I have some different things in here that I need. Like here's some index cards. These are like the bigger ones, okay? And I have a read aloud that we're doing in here. I have a package of gel pens. And I love these whiteout markers. Have you seen them? Dollar Tree. They are amazing, especially if you have a child who's a perfectionist and they write something in pen or something and they're just devastated because they did it wrong. This will just go over the little tiny spot. Oh, such a piece, such a wonderful piece. Oh, so anyway, that's something that I do. And just so there's something that I use for organizing, either a basket or like a book bag where I can put stuff that mom needs. Okay, now for another idea, now this will really help, I think, a lot, because especially when you've got a lot of kids to keep track of. Okay, so I made these, and I offer these for free download on my website, momdelights.com. Here's an assignment sheet, okay? And they're, you know, I'm really a creative person, so sometimes I kind of overwork, get too complicated, you know, whatever, but I like to handwrite what the kids are doing, but I have the categories sometimes already put in, or here's the days across the top, and I just sort of, each day, day 1, I'll have an assignment list, and day 2 and day 3, and so on, so on that. So that they know what they're supposed to do, and I might have them like, sometimes I'll put a little check, I don't know if you can see that, but I put a little checkbox beside it so that some of the little girls, they like to have the feeling that they are checking it off as they go. It makes them feel good. Like, okay, so I do that. So I have these for free. I'll try to put the, I'll try to put the link in below, the description below. All right, so there's another thing you can do. Now, still another one that I like to do, and I had it out here. I had it in here just a second ago. Oh, well, here's another thing. Like, these are handouts for one of my children. I have in here a page that shows proofreading marks so that when she's correcting her work, sometimes she does that herself, you know, so that she gets used to that, or when she's proofreading or I'm proofreading, we can use these marks and she'll be familiar with them. But this is her reference chart. Over here I have a spelling reference chart on one side and the multiplication table on the other, which makes it, and I've laminated it. Okay, so that's in here so that she can't, you know, where's my chart? It's in your folder. Okay, this is we're doing the Middle Ages, Heritage History at Middle Ages, and so here's a map, a reference map she's supposed to be filling in. That's in here. That's a handout. Here's some writing that she's been doing, so we keep it in the folder. Here's a map of the United States and the world that I laminated, so she can have that as a reference when we're doing our studies. All these things are like their pockets, and there's some paper, loose paper for some writing assignments in the back. We have notebooking pages. We have a timeline from the shorterword.com, which is a great place to go. And so that's in here. Well, one of the things that I also put in here is sometimes, in order to help the kids keep on track specifically, instead of going to the assignment sheet, I will use 3x5 cards, or I think these are 3x6 6, 4 by 6s. Anyway, so, and then I will like give them a general idea like how they're supposed to proceed every day. So I don't have to constantly, what do I do now, Mom? Or they're not sitting and twiddling and doing nothing. I say, have you done your list today? And then I even broke it down further for certain parts that I have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 of this week. So that they know specifically what they're supposed to be doing. And I just, like I said, I write this out for each child, and I like have a procedure for their day, and I have this, and then I put it in their file folder, and then I will check up on them and say, have you done what's on your list? And that way they know. I've got to tell you, sometimes it really helps, instead of being helter-skelter, it helps to have physicality that you can see. If you can see what you need to do with your eyes, like a stack of books, a basket of books, a crate of books, a notebook with a list, a sheet with a list, anything you can do that can help you and your children know exactly what to do, but it's not like in the air. It's not like, well, weren't we going to do this? Well, wait a minute. I was thinking I wanted to do this next, I don't rely on this brain to keep too much information. It starts leaking. Okay, and then we have a mess everywhere. Also in my, in the record book, I will have, like, if I want to do a quick note of something I want to change or something I want to remember for the next day, I will write it here really quickly. Just so when I'm filling it, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do this today. Or I wrote that down. Sometimes that note will go into my planner. This is just one of those cheapies from Walmart, okay? It's not fancy. But I will, like, look on the day. Like, I try to look every morning to see what I had slated for that day. And then I will, like, have a note here. Like, I'll have an asterisk, and it'll say, what I'm supposed to not forget for that day for the kids. My husband has the amazing memory. His mind is a Rolodex, okay? He remembers all the passwords, he remembers all the bills, he remembers everything right up here. I just am not that reliable. Besides, I want to have my brain freed for things like remembering to kiss and hug and listen. So, that's my job. So that's kind of some of the things I do. I am not I've tried electronic stuff. I've tried to keep track of stuff online. It does not work for me. I need something physical. I can touch, I can feel, I can hold, I can see. Something in that keeps me on track. So maybe you're like me too. I don't know. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that answers your question. I hope that gives you some ideas. I know it's not complete, but God helps us. I pray and I ask the Holy Spirit, and He always gives me these amazing ideas, and He'll give them for you too. All right.